Hello, word enthusiasts, and welcome back to Hello Word. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today as we delve into another fascinating word from the English language. Our word of the day is compensate. Compensate, a C1 level verb, essentially means to pay back or make up for something. Think of it as a way to balance things out, to make amends for a loss, injury, or deficiency. It implies a sense of fairness, restoring equilibrium after something has gone wrong or been lacking. In everyday language, you might hear someone say they need to compensate for lost time, or that a company is offering compensation for damages. So, let's break it down further. What are some words that share a similar meaning with compensate? Well, a good synonym is reimburse. For example, the company will reimburse you for your travel expenses. Another excellent synonym is repay. You might hear, I'll repay you for your kindness one day. We also have the word indemnify, which means to secure someone against loss or damage, often financially. A sentence could be, the insurance policy will indemnify you against theft. And let's not forget remunerate, which refers to paying someone for work or services. For instance, the consultants were remunerated handsomely for their expertise. Finally, consider the word offset. An example could be, we need to offset our carbon emissions. Now, let's look at some antonyms, words that have the opposite meaning of compensate. A key antonym is deprive. For example, the new law will deprive many people of their rights. Another antonym is forfeit. You might hear if you break the rules, you will forfeit your prize. We can also consider the word lose. For instance, he will lose his job if he keeps being late. Another word with contrasting meaning is damage. A sentence could be, the storm damaged many homes. And let's not forget impair, which means to weaken or damage something. As an example, lack of sleep can impair your judgment. So, how can you use compensate in everyday life? Imagine you're late for a meeting. You might say, I'll compensate for being late by staying later tonight. Or, if you accidentally spill coffee on someone, you could offer to compensate them for the dry cleaning. Perhaps you didn't study as much as you should have for a test. You might say, I'll compensate by studying extra hard for the next one. In common expressions, you might hear, nothing can compensate for the loss of a loved one, highlighting the irreplaceable nature of that loss. Let's solidify our understanding with a few more example sentences. The airline offered vouchers to compensate passengers for the delayed flight. The company agreed to compensate the worker for his injury on the job. He tried to compensate for his lack of experience with enthusiasm. She had to compensate for the bad lighting while taking photos. The government introduced measures to compensate for the economic downturn. Can money compensate for the pain and suffering they endured? The extra effort I put in at work compensated for my earlier mistakes. To compensate for the pollution, the city planted more trees. The new software is designed to compensate for human error. He offered her flowers to compensate for forgetting their anniversary. They increased the teachers' salaries to compensate them for their extra workload. The athletes used training to compensate for their genetic disadvantages. We need to find a way to compensate for the environmental impact of our activities. The insurance will compensate you for any losses incurred. The company is trying to compensate for its past mistakes. And there you have it. We've explored the meaning of compensate, its synonyms like reimburse, repay, indemnify, remunerate, and offset, and its antonyms like deprive, forfeit, lose, damage, and impair. We've also seen how compensate can be used in everyday conversations and various sentence structures. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. I hope you found this exploration of compensate helpful. Now, I have a small request. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover Hello Word and learn new vocabulary. And finally, I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word compensate and share it as a comment under this video. I'm eager to see your creative examples. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep saying hello to new words.